Hey guys. You know, currently I'm watching, and I apologize if it's a little crooked, so, um, but, either that or it's my futon. But, currently, I'm watching, Rowdy C's Hanna-Barbera that's on his, Patreon. Now, Rowdy has found a unique way to present this series because right now with a lot going on as far as like YouTube and other sites going down and coming up. Oh, this feels good. Hot tea. Can't tell I'm getting over something, trying to anyway. But with the fact that last year VidMe went down, and years before, and about a year or so before, Blip went down. And the fact that any other video sharing site is kind of like, they're still around and in a big way, but you just don't know whether or not they're going to be around for the next couple of years or so. Excuse me. So, what Rowdy has done is he's decided to take advantage of Microsoft's OneDrive and use that to upload his Hanna-New series, Hanna-New Year. Eventually, I think he's going to put it onto another video sharing site, whether it is YouTube, whether it's Vimeo or VO, or even Dailymotion. He's going to find a way to do it. Excuse me. But I thought I'd come on here and talk about real quickly one of the movies that eventually he's going to be getting to. Now, he probably already has this in the can and ready to upload within the next several days. Now, ironically, he started off this series with Yogi's Great Escape. And now, all of a sudden, here we are with the latest one being Yogi and the Magical Spruce Goose. Well, Yogi was basically one of those characters out of the Hanna-Barbera lineup during the Superstar 10 series. They ended up getting not one, not two, but 3 movies. Scooby-Doo, of course, was the other one, and Scooby started with the Boo Brothers. Then he got, I think, the Ghoul School, and then I think after that, Reluctant Railwolf. So Scooby and Yogi were the only ones to get 3. Now you might say the Jetsons ended up getting 2, ended up getting 2 movies because of the fact that they had Jetsons and the Flintstones, and the other one that I know he's going to be getting to real soon, Rocking with Judy Jetson. And I know others might say that Yogi has 4 movies, if you count The Good, the Bad, and the Huckleberry Hound. But when I look at The Good, the Bad, and the Huckleberry Hound, yes, it has Yogi in it, but it's primarily a Huckleberry Hound series. A Huckleberry Hound movie. That's what it is. I mean, yeah, you see Yogi, you see Boo Boo, you see Snagglepuss, you see Quick Draw, you see Hokey, you see all the hot Yogi Bear related characters, but it's primarily focused on Huckleberry Hound. So in a sense, you might say Yogi wins out by 4, but technically not so much. However, like I said, he does tie Scooby with having the most out of the Superstar 10 series. But what's ironic about the third one that Rowdy's going to be getting to, which is Yogi Bear and the Invasion of the Space Bears, is this movie is not just the last one. And Rowdy, I want you to, hopefully you're watching, but this is not only the last Yogi Bear movie in the Superstar 10 series, no. This actually takes place around, during, and just right before the new Yogi Bear show. it's around that time frame. Because unlike because unlike Spruce Goose and Great Escape, it was not an all-star movie. It was not a Yogi Bear all-star movie. Instead, it was primarily set in Jellystone and in space, believe it or not. It, along with Reluctant Werewolf, was, I think, one of the first Superstar 10 movies to use computer graphics for certain scenes and moments and effects. And it's the first movie since 1980 that we see Cindy Bear in. That's right, it's the first one we see Cindy Bear in. It's the first one since 1980, Yogi's First Christmas, and the first time we see Cindy since the 1985 Yogi's Treasure Hunt episode, To Be or Not to Be. You know, that's the first time we see her in quite some time. Now, like I said, the movie supposedly takes place before, during, or around, or should I say after, the new Yogi Bear series. The new Yogi Bear series came out around the same time, which was 1988. And it primarily focused on Yogi, Boo Boo, Sydney, and Ranger Smith, set in Jellystone Park, and it introduced us to several new characters. One, a bear from Wacky Races, or I think was it Wacky Races or Space Race? One of those two. It introduced us to several new Rangers that would work with Smith, like Ranger Ruby-Doo and all that. So, you had all these new characters. And ironically, Ranger Ruby-Doo actually appeared in Space Bears. So it makes you wonder, did this movie happen during or after or around this series? My argument on that is I think it took place during the movie, during the run. I really do. It does take place during it. Now, the one thing about Invasion of the Space Bears, and I think it's a common thing with a lot of these Hanna-Barbera Superstar 10 series movies, one common thing about each and every one of them is, in a sense, a majority of them were kind of like musicals. Let me explain. Each and every one of them had one or two or several musical numbers. And when it came to Invasion of the Space Bears, it, along with Rockin' with Judy Jetson, are probably, my opinion, I could be wrong, are probably two of the most musical influenced or musical themed Superstar 10 movies during the run. Because the majority of the time you had nothing but songs. Nothing but songs. And that was kind of a surprise, because yes, you did have musical numbers, like I said, throughout a majority of the run, even if they were unintentional. Heck, even Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf had one. Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, in a sense, had one. So did the Boo Brothers. But none of them, in my opinion, matched up to what Rockin' with Judy Jetson and Invasion of the Space Bears had. None of them. So, if there's one distinction that Rowdy could take away from this review that he's going to put up, if he wants to add to it before he releases it, is that this animated feature by Superstar 10s is a musical. It's a musical because you have, of course, a Cindy Bear song, which is very beautifully well done. You have a rap number by Yogi and Boo Boo. And you had an ending song as well. So, it's kind of in the tradition of being like, it takes place during, in my opinion, during the new Yogi Bear show. But in a sense, it feels like it's a sequel to Hey There, It's Yogi Bear. That's what it feels like. And probably, in my opinion, is one of the best movies the Hanna-Barbera Superstar 10 series has ever produced. One of the best, and basically one of the final ones. So what a way for Hanna-Barbera to close out this anthology series of movies than with this. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the last one, but I think it was like the second to last one, so what a way to go out on. And like I said, it's not like the other Yogi Bear movies. It actually focuses primarily in Jellystone and in space, as well as it primarily focuses on Yogi, Boo Boo, Cindy, and Ranger Smith. And like I say, the way you could tell it takes place during the middle of the new Yogi Bear show is you got the addition of several Ranger characters that get introduced in the show. So, that right there is proof that in a sense, this is not just probably, that this in a sense is like a hybrid. It's a hybrid because it's a movie based on the new Yogi Bear show, and in a sense it serves as a sequel to Hey There's Yogi Bear. Just my opinion on it. So, let me know what you think, guys. And Rowdy, hopefully you've watched this. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all later.